My mother had repeated attempts of trying to abort her pregnancy by throwing herself down the stairs when she was pregnant with me. And I can remember that day, and I can just remember thinking, wow, my mom didn't want me. Growing up as a kid was really tough for me. I was raised by a single parent. My mother was a heroin addict, and she suffered all her life with that addiction until it took her life at the age of 40. And I remember growing up with my mother during her addiction, and as a kid it was extremely hard because I can always remember coming home from school. You just never knew what to expect. There were periods in my life where my mother sold drugs from the home where we lived. And I can remember thinking, I'd like to try those drugs and see how they make you feel. And I began to experiment with marijuana. Immediately, I remember that it gave me a feeling of numbness. And at that point, I was hooked. There was a lot of times I just didn't want to feel. I didn't want to sometimes live. And using those drugs and alcohol helped me to do that. It helped me to not feel what I was going through. In the county prison is where I gave my life to Christ. I was raised in a household where we didn't talk about Jesus. We didn't read the Bible. We didn't even pray. Even after accepting Christ in the county prison at the age of 21, I didn't realize that God did love me and He was pursuing me and that He was with me the entire time. All those awful things were happening to me. He was there. He was shielding me. He was keeping my mind, because a lot of what I went through, I'm thankful that I have my right mind today. I've attended many churches over the years of being saved, but what makes it different for me here at the Worship Center is that they genuinely embrace you and help you to be all that God has called you to be. So immediately I began to get involved. It was important for me to do that, to be involved. I truly believe I have a servant's heart, and I just wanted to give back again to show God that I was so thankful for the things that He was doing for me. Throughout my life, I've made major mistakes and many bad choices that caused me harm and caused a lot of other people harm. But in spite of that, God still loved me. He still pursued me. He still would place people in my life that would show me His unconditional love and His grace. And my truest, deepest desire is to give back what God has given me, the ability to know that He cares for us and He loves us. And to be able to receive that through His people is a great thing.